You are about to witness something extraordinary. Something that happens in millions of homes every single day, and almost no one understands what is actually taking place. One moment, your baby is crying, reaching, sending out a signal that something inside them feels wrong, and then silence. Not the peaceful kind of silence, not the quiet of contentment, something else. Something that looks like calm but is actually something far more mysterious. The crying stops, the reaching stops, the connection seems to fade, and most parents breathe a sigh of relief. Finally, peace. But here is the part nobody tells you, the part that changes everything. What if that sudden quiet is not a sign that everything is fine? What if it is something your baby's brain learned to do to protect itself? What if the most dangerous moment in your baby's emotional life is the moment they stop telling you something is wrong? And what if that decision, made silently inside their tiny nervous system, is shaping the person they will become 20 years from now? This is not a story about broken babies. This is a story about brilliant brains. This is a story about survival. And this is a story about something most parents accidentally teach their children without ever realizing it. So take a breath. Come closer. Because what you are about to learn will change how you see every single quiet moment with your baby. Your baby is born with a voice, not words, not sentences, something much more honest, a cry, a reaching out, a signal that says, something is wrong, I need you, come closer. And in the beginning, that signal is unstoppable. It is designed to be impossible to ignore. A healthy newborn has one job in moments of distress: to scream, to reach, to pull you toward them like a tiny emotional magnet. But something fascinating happens over the first year of life. Something researchers in developmental psychology have been studying for decades. The baby begins to learn, and not just how to roll over or grab a toy, something much deeper. The baby begins to learn about your face, your tone, your tempo, your emotional availability. Here is the truth that changes everything. Babies are not just crying for milk or sleep or a dry diaper. They are testing something far more important. They are asking one silent question over and over again. When I reach for you, do you come? Not every time, not perfectly, but consistently enough for their nervous system to feel safe. And this is where the dangerous quiet begins. There is a moment every parent has experienced. The baby cries. You are overwhelmed. You are tired. You are touched out. You have not slept in 11 weeks. Your nervous system is frayed. And something inside you shuts down. Not on purpose. Never on purpose. But something in your face changes. Your eyes go somewhere else. Your body becomes present, but your emotional self leaves. And the baby notices. They always notice. Their tiny nervous system still developing, still learning how to feel safe in the world, to text something. The person who keeps me safe is no longer here. Not physically, but emotionally. And this is where the brain makes a decision no one sees coming. The baby learns something heartbreaking and brilliant. If I cry and no one comes, crying stops working. If I reach and no one reaches back, reaching becomes dangerous. So the baby does something extraordinary. Something that looks like giving up, but is actually adapting. They stop sending the signal. Not because they feel better, because their brain has learned a survival strategy. If being loud makes me more alone, I will be quiet. And most parents misinterpret this completely. They see the sudden quiet and think, finally, they are calming down. But inside that tiny body, something entirely different is happening. The nervous system is not calm. It has simply stopped signaling. The heart rate may still be elevated. The stress hormones may still be flooding the brain. But the outward signal, the cry, the reach, the connection seeking has been turned off. Researchers call this dissociation. But that word sounds too clinical, too cold. Let us call it what it really is. The baby has learned to disappear, not physically, emotionally. And here's the part that keeps scientists awake at night. This is not a disorder. This is not a sign of damage. This is a sign of intelligence. The baby's brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. It is adapting to the environment it finds itself in. If your caregiver is inconsistent, become quiet. If your caregiver is overwhelmed, stop needing so much. If reaching out hurts, reach inward instead. But here is where the story becomes even more fascinating. Because this adaptation does not disappear when the baby grows up. It becomes a blueprint. Fast forward 20 years, that baby is now an adult, And without ever understanding why, they struggle to ask for help. They struggle to express when something is wrong. They feel anxious, but cannot explain why. They feel lonely in rooms full of people who love them, because their nervous system learned something very early. The safest response to distress is silence. The most protective response to fear is to disappear, and they are not broken. They are brilliant. Their brain protected them the only way it knew how. But that protection, designed for a helpless infant, becomes a prison in adulthood. And this is the dangerous secret most parents never learn. The quiet is not always peace. Sometimes, the quiet is the sound of a baby learning to stop believing someone will come. But do not panic. Do not let guilt swallow you. Because here is the truth that changes everything. You do not need to be perfect. You need something much more achievable. You need to repair. Researchers have discovered something beautiful about the human brain. It is not built for constant attunement, it is built for rupture and repair. Rupture is when you miss the signal, when you are overwhelmed, when your own exhaustion or frustration or sadness means you cannot show up the way your baby needs, and repair is what happens next, when you pick them up and hold them close. When you say with your body, I am here, I am back, I see you, and here is the miracle. Repair creates something even stronger than constant perfection. It teaches the baby that connection can be broken and rebuilt. That relationships are not fragile. That even when someone leaves emotionally, they can come back. This is the most important lesson your baby's brain can learn. That safety is not about never feeling alone. Safety is about knowing that if you feel alone, someone will eventually come back. And this goes much deeper than most people realize, because the research is clear. The families who raise the most emotionally resilient children are not the families who never miss a signal. They are the families who miss the signal and then come running back when they realize. So, what does this mean for you tonight? For the next time your baby cries and you feel your own nervous system shutting down, it means you are allowed to be human. It means you are allowed to feel overwhelmed. It means you are allowed to need a moment. But here is the powerful part. When you come back, when you take a breath and reconnect, when you hold your baby and let your body become calm, so theirs can follow. That moment of return is more powerful than 1,000 perfect moments of never leaving. Because your baby is not learning to never feel abandoned. They are learning that abandonment is temporary. That love returns. That the person keeping them safe will always eventually come back. And that lesson, that deep embodied nervous system lesson, becomes the foundation of every relationship they will ever have. If you're the kind of parent who wants to truly understand what is happening inside your baby's emotional world, who wants to see past the quiet and into the truth of what they are experiencing, this is the kind of deep, psychologically immersive content we explore here every week. Because parenting is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about repair. And it is about understanding that your baby's nervous system is listening to everything you do, especially when you think they are not paying attention. So stay curious. Stay connected. And remember, every moment of coming back teaches your baby something no textbook ever could. Let us take a breath here, because this can feel heavy. And you do not need to carry guilt. You need information. You need understanding. And you need to know that small moments matter more than grand gestures. Your baby does not need a flawless parent. Your baby needs a real one. Someone who gets tired. Someone who gets overwhelmed. Someone who sometimes needs to step away and take a breath. And then, someone who comes back. That is the secret no one tells you. That is the dangerous quiet transformed into something beautiful. Because when you understand what is actually happening inside that sudden silence, you stop seeing it as peace. You start seeing it as information. A signal that maybe your baby has stopped believing anyone will come. And that signal becomes your invitation, not to feel guilty, to feel curious, to ask yourself, have I been here emotionally? And can I come back right now? And when you do come back, when you hold them close and let your heartbeat become their anchor, something miraculous happens. Their nervous system remembers, not with words, with feelings, with safety, with the deep, wordless knowing that says, I am seen, I am held, I am not alone. And one day, that baby will be an adult, and they will face hard things. They will feel afraid. They will feel alone, and something deep inside them will whisper a truth their body learned from you. Someone will come. I am not alone forever. That is your legacy. Not perfection, not constant attunement, not never missing a single signal. The quiet moments when you came back. The ordinary mornings when you chose connection over exhaustion. The breath you took before you reached for them again. Your baby is watching you, learning you, building themselves around the feeling of being loved by you. Not perfectly, really. And that is more than enough. That is everything.